Hi, Relevant. My name is Julia, and I'm applying for the position of broadcast talent and writer. And I wanted to pass along a little video so you could kind of get an idea of who I am and what my personality is like on camera and what I could offer to you either on camera or on audio like a podcast format. So to kind of just spend some time seeing my personality and getting to know me, I thought that I would just tell you a little bit about what writing means to me. Because a big part of this job obviously is writing, and I want to just kind of describe my love of writing to you and what this means for my life. So writing is something that actually started for me very, very young. When I was little, I was always writing stories and illustrating them. And I had this really big dream that I was going to be a fantasy novel author. And my writing career aspirations really dropped off kind of at the end of high school and then in college. I majored in communications in college because I didn't really know what I wanted to do necessarily, but writing as a profession wasn't really on my mind at that time. And then in my senior year of college, my media criticism professor assigned us the task of creating and maintaining a blog for a few months. And it was really from this assignment that I kind of found myself back in this world of writing and realizing, even though I was posting really sporadically on this blog, that writing and particularly connecting with people through writing was something that was really meaningful to me. So even after the assignment ended and after school ended, I kept my blog up. And over the years, I redesigned it and I started writing more frequently. And I started to realize more and more that writing was not only becoming a career aspiration, but was becoming more and more part of the framework of who I am. And in a lot of ways, I have started to feel that I am really called to be a writer. And that has taken a lot of different forms over the years, whether I've been writing in social media, because my background is in social media and brand management, and now, more recently, writing and creating a podcast that is all about a love of movies and a love of pop culture. My friend from college and we started a podcast all about this about 6 months ago, and we actually have kind of a small following, and we were most recently invited to speak on a movie podcast panel at a podcast conference in New Orleans next year. So writing has taken on a lot of different forms for me, but my true love of writing lies in something that came up for me last year when I attended a writer's retreat in Montana. And we were asked to kind of pick a slogan to describe writing for us. And I chose my slogan as, I write to set free the world inside me and to offer others a soul to connect with. So no matter if I'm writing on my blog or on an online publication or freelancing or social media or the podcast, I want to feel less alone, and I want other people to feel less alone. And that is why I write. And I have found that as a millennial Christian woman, I'm often caught between these two identities. I'm caught between this identity of being really interested and invested in current culture and the news and politics and social media and all this information and opinions. And then I'm also caught between trying to find true meaning in what it means to be a Christian. And writing has helped me bridge the gap between these two identities and what it looks like to be a part of the culture, but find my purpose in God and my faith. And writing has helped me wrestle with ideas about God. It has helped me wrestle with ideas that are happening in culture and what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a Christian woman. And writing to me is something that I believe has been one of the foundational points of me living out my faith. And that's what I hope it continues to be. So to have the chance to do that as a part of Relevant would be amazing. And that's why I'm interested in Relevant. I have followed Relevant for years now, and the reason that Relevant matters to me and is important to me and why I believe that I would do an incredible job at this position is because I see Relevant taking on this intersection of culture, popular culture, and faith, and the big questions that arise from the intersection of these, and having the willingness and integrity and humility to wrestle with these questions. And at the same time, I love that Relevant doesn't see culture and Christianity as us versus them necessarily. It sees culture and Christianity as something that can complement and appreciate and understand each other. And that is something that has been so important for me when it comes to writing to make people feel less alone, because I don't want to write from the perspective of Christian versus them. I want to write from the perspective of we are in this together, and where do we find meaning in all of this? And in my life, meaning comes from God. And how do I incorporate that into writing to bring about unity and to bring about an appreciation of what it means to find our full identities, and at the end of the day, what it means to find our full identities in Christ. So I hope that you will take my application into consideration. I would be so grateful. I think Relevant is an amazing company, and based on my background in social media and branding, my podcast, my public speaking background that I mentioned in both my resume and my cover letter, but more importantly, the fact that I'm a writer, and I'm a writer who's not afraid to go towards the difficult and who's not afraid to ask big questions of both faith and the culture, I would love the opportunity to join your team. So I hope that this gave you a little bit of an insight into who I can be and my personality, and I look forward to hearing from you. So thank you very much.